I think what I find really beautiful about you doing it is you're doing it though when you're like, I'm having all my emotions come up at the same time as trying to be a voice for other people. And when you're saying like, I'm taking a knee because I know I have to make a stand externally, but internally you're taking a knee because so much of your own stuff from years ago is coming back up. Like that must be quite hard when that strikes me as something that's really inspiring about what you did, is that you were going through your own healing at the same time as trying to do healing for the world.
There is so much healing to do, right? And I was completely oblivious that I needed healing. I needed to really peel back some of those layers. I think for people that tune into racing, you mentioned earlier on, but when we arrive, everything's set up. There is work that we're doing in the background that naturally people don't see. They just see a show. But there is an unbelievable amount of work that goes on in the background. When I talk to people that talk about how much weight you lose in the car, they're like, you just sit in the car and you drive. There's this huge psychological and emotional roller coaster that you're going through that it'll be really hard for people to comprehend. And you mentioned about all these other athletes, you see their faces in other sports, you can't see because we've got a helmet on, but you go through this roller coaster ride in the race and then you get out and the camera's right in your face. You're not prepared for that. Your emotions are shot, particularly if you failed or feel like you failed. And you don't always answer the right way. If you wear your heart on your sleeve, people don't necessarily like that necessarily always. People take advantage of that. So then you build up all these protection mechanisms that's not necessarily you and at the core, but what would be the safest thing for you? You know what I mean? Like I read something the other day about there's like 3 steps of you, and there's one of which you present who you present. Then there's you and who you are to you and your family and friends. And then there's the part of you, the real you, that no one ever gets to see. And I think just today in today's world, it's so vicious on social media. The media can be, can really tear you apart.
Mm-hmm.
And you build up, like when you make a mistake in something you say in the media and you're ridiculed for it, you never do it again. So you build up and you go more and more in your shell and you become harder for people to really relate to. But I think for me, what I've realized in these last few years is really peeling back those layers and, letting people know that I grew up in a council estate. I've lived on the sofa with my parents. We've had those struggles. The successful people out there you see, they too have had those things where we need to show the young kids who are going through that same thing that, if he can get there or they can get there, then it must be possible for me too.
Yeah.
And like showing your vulnerability, that's something that I really struggled to do for a long time. And like today, that's something I think I'm a lot more open than I've ever been.
Yeah.
I'm not living in fear every day. And that's like the most empowering thing, I think, for me personally. I'm living a much happier life because I'm a lot more open.
Yeah. It's liberating.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's liberating when you finally feel like you're not trapped or you're not being
hiding.
held or